Good day. My name is Emmanuel Olawale. I'm an attorney based in Columbus, Ohio. I'm also the host of Legal Angle with Emmanuel the Law Olawale. Today I'll be talking about COVID-19, coronavirus, the legal angle of it. As we are all aware, COVID-19 is now a pandemic. It has affected states, cities, and countries. And as of this moment, several states have shut down their parks, restaurants, movies, churches, gatherings of more than 50 people, and bars. Even schools have been shut down. So the question is, how does this shutdown affect people's contractual obligations? How does it affect regular people? These are the things I'll be discussing in this video. There is a legal term known as force majeure. Force majeure is a French word for superior force. In some instances, it's called act of God. It is a contractual clause that relieves a party from performing their contractual duties or obligations because of circumstances beyond their control. In most instances, force majeure are things like natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, things of that nature. The things that a party will not have control over, circumstances beyond their control. A well-drafted contract will have such a clause. If it's in the event that it doesn't have it, the court will normally rely on common law doctrines such as impracticability or frustration of purpose. They kind of serve the same thing, but the difference is that in the force majeure clause, the parties will have foreseen that such circumstances would occur. Now, let's take, for instance, if let's say a restaurant in Ohio now has a contract with a business to host 50 people next week. The reality of that contract as of today is that it's not going to be possible because all restaurants have been ordered shut down. So let's assume in the future now that that business now sues the restaurant for a breach of contract. It is very highly likely that that restaurant will prevail in the lawsuit because the restaurant can use force majeure and or impracticability or frustration of purpose as a defense, because everyone knows that it's practically impossible for that restaurant to host those 50 people they contracted to host next week. Not because the restaurant doesn't want to host, but because it can't. Because of the forces it cannot control. Because the state has ordered the restaurant to be shut down because of the pandemic. So the pandemic can now be seen as an act of God which the restaurant could not control. In fact, in China right now, the states have issued certificate of force majeure to contractors who are not able to perform the duties that they were supposed to because of this coronavirus. So the question now is, how does this affect you as an individual? How does it affect you that you're wondering, okay, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to meet my mortgage obligations? How am I going to pay the bills as they become due? Because most people right now are not able to work. Most people are not going to work. And most people are not able to perform the contract because of what is going on. So invariably, they are not going to get paid. But the question is, the bills don't stop. So how are you going to handle those situations? I'm going to be giving you some practical tools that you can use to either reduce your damages or to mitigate the same. So first, I will tell you that you need to start taking action now. Don't wait until your bills are due or when your performance will be requested before you start acting. Start acting now. the first thing you have to do is write a letter, or start writing letters, or start calling people that you owe obligations to. Call your landlord, call your mortgage company, send letters out, let them know that coronavirus pandemic has affected your business, or has affected your wages, or has affected your income. Let them know beforehand that you might not be able to meet your obligations. Ask for deals. Ask for deferment. Ask them to see if they can defer the performance of your obligations. Ask them if they can give you rebates, reductions in your bills, because everyone knows what is going on. Ask them if they can do that. And if you have a business where the performance what you contracted to perform is date specific, cancel. Ask them to cancel. And if you have a contract where the date, what you need to, whatever you need to do is not date specific, ask them to see if you can reschedule. Ask them to see if you can do this at the end of the pandemic when everything returns to normal. Don't wait until this is over before you start making calls and start giving excuses, or start making the people that you need to pay or that you need to deliver services to know that you are being affected by this pandemic. Number 3, write in your letter, let them know that you're willing to, you're willing to negotiate. Let them know that you're willing to negotiate. Let them know that you're flexible. Let them know that let them know what your weaknesses are. This is not a time to pretend. This is not a time to this is a time to be honest. This is a time to let people that you hold obligations to know that you have this weakness. Don't make promises you cannot keep. Let them know, let them know what you can afford to pay. Let them know what you can't afford. Let them know the reason behind it. And if you have one with a history, let's say for instance, you're talking about maybe paying your rent. In your letter, let them know what your payment history has been. If let's say you've lived in the same place, or you've had the same office for the past 2 years and you've never been late on your payment, put that in that letter. So that, because you never know, that letter could become evidence one day. Put it in the letter that, as you're aware, I've never been late on my rent, but as it so happens, this is what is going on. If you can give me, give me time, or give me a deferment, or if you can even cancel it, I will so much appreciate it. Number 4, don't take on new obligations. Don't take on new obligations that you might not be able to perform. So if you are in the service business, don't take on any new contract when it is highly likely that you will not be able to perform those contracts. Otherwise, if you do that and it eventually goes to court, it can be deemed as fraudulent. It can be deemed as if you've misrepresented yourself, because everyone knows what is going on. So this is not a time to take on new obligations when it is very highly likely you might not be able to perform. Number 5, be prepared to refund monies that you have taken from people. If you're in the service contract and you have taken the money from people to perform services, and because of the pandemic, you will be unable to perform those services, refund the money to the people you've taken money from. Otherwise, unless your contract stipulates that all monies paid will not be refunded. In the absence of that, you should be willing and be ready to give people back the money that they have paid to you under the contract. Finally, listen to the experts, listen to CDC, listen to directives, and do things that will keep you and your family healthy. As you are forced to stay home this period, try to find time to spend time with your family, connect with friends, and just make the best of it. Thank you. This is Emmanuel Olawale, the host of Legal Angle with Emmanuel the Law Olawale. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.